Welcome to more bite-sized therapy from the Big Book of Counselling Clichés. And today, work-related stress. When people come to see me because they've been signed off with work-related stress, we always end up talking about the same four things. Okay, maybe not all four of these things, but pretty much. Perfectionism, people-pleasing, control, and the early warning system. Perfectionism comes in two sizes. Some people are driven to be perfect and nothing else will do. I'm not talking about people who are motivated or ambitious. There's nothing wrong with wanting to do our best or get ahead in life. I'm talking about people who are driven, compulsive, people who have to be perfect. If they're not perfect, they're a failure. The dark side to perfectionism is people whose internal yardstick is set so high that they know they'll never reach it. These are the people who live day in and day out with that little voice inside telling them they're a failure, they're useless, what's the point of even trying? These are the people who don't look like perfectionists on the outside because they're demotivated and depressed. They never even start anything because they know they'll never succeed, so why bother? But it's still perfectionism. People-pleasing, or more specifically, people who have a disproportionate concern with other people's opinions. These are the people who spend all day worrying about what other people think, what they think about their work, their clothes, what they say, what they do, who they are. Control. Again, this comes in two sizes. Some people believe they have to be in control of everything. Often it comes from a deep-seated fear of what will happen if they're not in control. So they try to control everything and everyone they encounter. It's an impossible task, but it doesn't stop them trying. The other side to that coin is people who don't believe they're in control of anything. They feel helpless, hopeless, powerless. They're at the whim of a random, chaotic world, or are puppets to somebody else's agenda. And that's never a good place to live. And finally, they all ignore the early warning system. Whenever I ask people to tell me their story, it always begins, well, 6 months ago. Yeah, that's the point. 6 months ago, they noticed something going wrong. They started losing sleep, or eating less, or getting stress headaches. That little voice inside was telling them to slow down, to relax, to do something about it. But they ignored it and hoped it would go away. So the voice got louder and they ignored it again. So it got louder and louder until eventually something inside says, I gave you a chance to stop and you said no. So now I'm going to make you stop. And that's when they have a breakdown, or a stroke, or a heart attack, or worse. So before we get to that stage, don't you think it's worth doing something about it? More bite-sized therapy from the Big Book of Counselling Clichés.